Good afternoon. It's a real pleasure to be here with you, joining remotely to be part of ICOM NPR Museum Communications at a Crossroad. My name is Cecilia Martín, and I'm here to speak to you and share some knowledge about branding with purpose. I'm a brand strategist, and in branding is about deciding what's important and focusing all the resources into that direction. Because if everything is important, nothing is. And I think that we can all agree that one of the most important things is how to bring museums closer to people's lives, and how to connect with their hearts. Brands can help to do that. But what really makes a great brand in the 21st century, and why do audiences demand? We know that brands are like people. You forget what they say, you forget what they do, but you never forget how they make you feel. And when you have a strong connection with people, and that's something that museums need to do to create that strong emotional connection. And you need to start with what makes you distinctive and why you matter, to put purpose at the heart of the brand, to put it at the center and let it inform your personality, the values, the program, the culture, the communication, and the spaces. Because purpose guides everything you do, guides all the messaging. And if we think about the future and what audiences want, what audiences need, we think about the demand for raising their own voice, to have more self-belief, more self-expression, to be able to collaborate, to participate, and to advocate for the planet. And we can also think about meaning being the new currency, because people are looking for meaning. And where are we moving from to? We're moving from passive receivers to active participants. And people want to contribute to the change in society, and all museums can help them to create that contribution. The more you communicate the positive impact that you have in the world, the more you will be able to have advocates for your museum brand, people who believe in you and want to be part of your purpose. And of course, active participants engage in wonder and in the experience of wonder that museums offer, in the inspiration, but they also want connection, humanity, and be able to contribute to change. And that means moving from just enjoying the experience to having a more emotional purpose, to stand out for what you stand for. And we are in the search for this why, this single unifying principle that connects us with the emotional aspirations of our audiences. And of course, that is the space of possibility, because it's taking the positioning of what's special about you and understanding what the world needs and what people needs to have a purpose that talks about why you matter. And it's moving from enjoying the experience to this emotional purpose that is looking towards the future. And it's a mix of hurt and heart, what we have to really be able to touch the heads and hearts of our audiences. If we think about famous brands that are commercial, that we know very well, and the purpose that they have at the heart of the organization, Patagonia, it's a very good example. We are in the business to save our home planet. They are advocating for the climate. But even brands like Ben and Jerry's that are in the business of ice cream, they are very much taking bold stances on issues. They're talking about fair trade. They're talking about the climate crisis. They want to make the best possible ice cream in the nice possible way. They've got a brand purpose at the core of their brand. And we talk about National History Museum, a very famous museum that everyone knows. Their purpose is to challenge how people think about the natural world in the past, in the present, and in the future. So it's moving the museum from being a catalog of objects to being a catalyst of change. And I think that's a very strong purpose. There is always this debate about what is purpose versus what is mission. Actually, purpose is a way to translate the mission. The mission is an action plan, it's very much action oriented. It's about the what and how you're going to do. But the purpose is the soul of the organization. It's way more emotional. It talks about the impact that you have in the world. And it's also creating a very strong sense of being part of something bigger, but defines also the role that you're taking in this world. Purpose drives change and creates a sense of belonging for audiences and everyone who works in our organization, and also creates innovation because purpose offers a way to challenge of audiences to look again, think again. That's, for example, the purpose of the Tate brand. And it's an opportunity to shift perceptions and to create provocations, to offer a different way to look at things. I want to share an example with you of a case study, that a project that I did in collaboration with NB Design Studio in London, and it's about the Philharmonie Luxembourg, a brand driven by purpose. And it's interesting because the Philharmonie Luxembourg is placed in this beautiful architectural icon at the heart of Luxembourg, and is designed by Christian de Portzamparc. But however, the communications were really unemotional. It was more like a bank than a cultural institution, and it didn't communicate the expression and the emotion of music. And I think that what's very important is, going back to the brief, it was to help make the Philharmonie be a modern cultural icon of Luxembourg, but also attract a new generation of concert goers, to be more fit for the digital world, to reach and exceed the pre-COVID ticket sales. So they had this incredible building that everyone recognized, but so many people went there, took a picture, and never went inside. And some people didn't even know that it was a concert hall. So I think, and the reason why I choose this example, not being a museum, but I think it shares a lot of similarities with museums. It was also an architectural icon, but it wasn't revealing everything that was happening inside with this surprising place that is live music. So it needed to go from information to experience, and to be more about the richness and the diversity of all the musical genres that were taking place. So we went on a journey to help them define their purpose as a starting point of the rebrand. And we were with everyone in the organization, with all the musicians, and to go at the heart of what music is, this divine way to tell beautiful and poetic things to the heart, and making something that had to do with the beauty of music at the heart of the center, which is to share musical experiences that open hearts and minds. And the visual identity, it was based in the building, but what we did is we brought it to life. It was a great way to share the music, to open minds and hearts. So you can see how the identity stays with the music. So the logo changes with the music, and it also translates to every visual output. It's sharing these musical experiences that open hearts and minds, and we, to empower everyone in the organization, create with a creative coder, a tool that will allow the organization to constantly change the logo according to the music. So those columns that were on the first place a barrier for entrance, it became part of the identity, a pulsating identity led by music. And it translates in the typography and the treat of images. It also translates in the posters, because the new generation of concert goers wants something that is vibrant, dynamic, bold, full of life, like music is, an emotion. So every concert is a different experience. So the identity allows for this diversity to come across while still being coherent and recognizable. And you can see how the purpose translates into every touch point of the organization. And lastly, we did a campaign to embrace those barriers of entries and make them actually our communication point. And we understood that some of the people, some of the young audiences, thought of the Philharmonie Luxembourg as being boring or elitist. So instead of deny it, we embrace it and we say boring. Boring is staying one night in the sofa, so shake up your musical calendar and come to the Philharmonie. Or they thought it was elitist, so elitist is to really think that only great music can be in Berlin or in Paris, so come and listen to us. And that became the campaign. So, to conclude, I'd like to share with you some takeaways. Brand is about purpose, about putting the purpose at the center of it, is our reason for being, and it translates to all the experiences. It also helps us to get closer to people's lives and funders' hearts, and help us to stand out for the changes you are passionate about. So find those issues, find those elements that you want to bring change to society and put it at the heart of your brand purpose so people can join you. And I thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you have a wonderful conference, and I will hope to see you soon. Goodbye.